Oh, I fucking love Sharon Osbourne. What a woman. She is mental.
In particular, your initial meeting with her.
Oh, when she asked if I like to lick out girls.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Encore Club Podcast. Today, in this episode, we are joined by Matt Richardson, comedian Matt Richardson. Matt is hysterical. This was, and I know I say it quite a lot at the beginning of these episodes, but this was genuinely, and this isn't to take away from other episodes, but this was genuinely my favourite episode. And the main reason is, about 20 minutes in, we kind of realised that even though we both have quite a niche taste in music, we like exactly the same stuff. To the point where, like, and you'll see it in a sec, we talk about a very niche kind of YouTuber that dabbles in the realm of pop punk. And if I mention the name of that YouTuber to anyone else, they wouldn't have a clue who I'm talking about. But Matt brought it up to us. So this was really a special one for me. And, you know, you can see it in the fact that, you know, we were going for 2 hours straight. You know, we're laughing the whole time. And, yeah, genuinely hilarious. I actually found Matt through watching Jackmate's Happy Hour, which was actually quite a big inspiration for this podcast. And, yeah, it was class. It was just awesome. We really enjoyed ourselves. So please go and find Matt on all his socials and give him a follow. And more importantly, he is on tour at the end of the year. Tour dates are here. Go and see him. It's going to be hilarious. I'm going to be there. We hope you enjoy the episode. And yeah, see you in a bit. Welcome back to the Encore Club Podcast, the podcast where we dive into our guests' dream concerts, and well, today is no different, obviously. However, we have got a pretty amazing guest with us. I'm really excited about this one.
Me too. Been looking forward to this.
So let's jump into what our guest does. So our guest is a presenter, former broadcaster, I guess. As well as, I don't know if you still do. We'll come to it. And comedian. It's Matt Richardson.
Woo! Oh, I mean, look, former broadcaster is the insult you weren't expecting it to be. Ouch. The career has gone less broadcasty. Yeah. Former broadcaster. I've done radio and stuff, a bit of presenting and things, but comedy is the main thing, really. Stand up.
The main forte. Okay, and just have a quick roundup of bits you have done. I hope you don't mind.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
So you were back in 2013. You presented the Xtra Factor with Caroline Flack.
I did indeed. That was my first ever job in telly. So I was already doing stand-up. I was like sort of doing the comedy clubs, and then I don't know how, ended up getting auditioned for that and ended up with that job. I'd never done any telly before. I was 22 and I still live with my parents.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
And it's been downhill since then.
Well, you say that. You went on to do... was it during the drive time you did the Virgin Radio?
I did Virgin Drive Time for about 4 years, 4.5 years, something like that, nearly 5. And then I've done like, you know, I hosted a lot of like spin-off shows. So of shows you've never heard of. That was my big thing. Like, the Hangover games and all this mad stuff. I've done loads of weird telly, basically.
Well, I mean, one of those, I guess, is the kind of haunted hotel and haunted kind of mansion stuff you did. How was that? How did that come about? First of all, like,
that's just like a standard job. So it was this is a very boring story how it happened. A TV producer I'd worked with and a production company I knew were making this mad show called Celebrity Haunted Hotel was the first series, and they went, "Oh, do you want to come and host it? It'll be you and Christine Lampard." And I was like, "Absolutely, I do." And they had a spin-off show for that in the afternoons. It was on W, a channel no one's ever heard of, and it was.
W's a mate. No,
it's basically W is the female version of Dave. That's basically what it was then anyway. And yeah, we put a load of celebrities in haunted hotel rooms and made them do ghost hunts all night. It was like over 5 or 6 days, every night, 3-hour live show. And it was tricky because ghosts aren't real. So it's I mean, fucking hell. It was a lot of like, can we swear on this? Do you swear?
Yeah,
Is that all right?
yeah.
Just checking. You know, I don't know the etiquette
No, you're good.
of other people's podcasts always. And yeah, you'd be like, you know, watching Craig Revel Horwood in a flipping barn with a meter and some ghost nutter going, oh, the temperature's dropped 0.1 degrees, Craig. That could mean there is a presence. And you could see him going, I'm here for the check. Let's just... But it was great fun. It was such a laugh. We did 2 series of it. No one ever saw it, but I got paid, so who cares?
Well, there you go. That's the main thing. I was going to say, is there ever, does anything ever happen? But
Yeah,
I think
does any...
Not really. There was a weird bit where, like, me and old Lampard, they made us go and do this ghost walk up a path. And it was really weird because it was in this old hotel that was like an old rectory or whatever it was. And it was a schoolhouse at one point. And they said, like, one of the mediums, you know, the people who claim they're fucking mediums, was like, well, the thing is, I wouldn't say this on the telly, but one of the ghosts that haunts this place is the old schoolmaster, and he was a paedophile. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And he'd killed himself in the woods, and they made us go and do this walk through the woods. And I'm going to say, I don't believe in ghosts. I did then. It was terrifying, like this really creepy thing, and like but I think it's that thing of you can convince yourself of anything. And also fear, and like, you know what? It's like, look, let's bring it back to the podcast. When you're at a gig, a vibe is contagious, right? Like when you're in a room at a gig and it's a good gig or a bad gig, you know. So when everyone else is like into this ghost thing, very quickly you go, oh yeah, this is really scary, actually.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like that because I think as people, we're all very attuned to each other. But yeah, it was a good laugh. I've done loads of mad stuff. I do the Red Bull soapbox race. I do go-karts, ghost hunting. I've done it all. Hangover, game show. I don't care.
Nice.
My first question is always, how much?
Yeah.
After that, I would do the audiobook for Mein Kampf. I couldn't care less. Just pay me.
That's fair enough.
That's the golden question. But you're right. Once I think you can even get in your own head. Like I know when I have to go out to the freezer in the garage in the dark.
Horrible, isn't it?
But then I say in my head, what if there's a murder in there? And then I go into the garage, and as I'm opening the door, I go, "Oh, I know you're in here." To like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We've all done it. You can just like creep yourself out, right? You know. But it was that was good, mate. It was good fun. We had some mad guests on that. They weirdly had a lot of money, so it was like we had like Alison, Hammond did it, Katie Price, Jack Osbourne from the Osbournes did it.
Oh, shit,
he was one of the ghost hunters. He's banging to ghosts. Mad show.
And if you're banging to ghosts like Jack Osbourne, do you leave disappointed if nothing happens?
I don't know really, because I think if you're into ghosts and he does ghost hunting, like I think he's like got a podcast, or he had previous, which is why he was on the show. Like my mate's into ghost hunting, and like he goes to these places and nothing happens 99% of the time, and the 1% where it happens, he's like, oh yeah, we're in this room listening to a radio on static, and you could vaguely hear a voice. And I'm like, yeah, that's the local taxi rank. Like, come on, like, but you know, you're so willing for it to happen if you're into it. I think that things then happen, you know, or you convince yourself something did happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're because you know that I actually do believe in ghosts, Matt.
Do you? Have you ever seen a ghost?
I've seen.
Don't hang up, please.
I'm not gonna hang up. You're fine.
I've seen something that I can't explain.
Okay, what was that?
So, this is a relatively long story.
Keep it sweet.
Yeah, I will. Basically, my mum was living in it's an old Victorian house, and the basement flat had been converted, and that's where she was living. And when I basically popped out to go to the shops quickly, and my mum was at home with my stepdad, and I've come back and I'm knocking on the door. It's one of those doors that has loads of window panels so you can see in, and no one's coming to the door. So I've knocked again, and then I see what I think is my stepdad walking across the hall into my mum's room. So I've knocked again, and quite audibly I've gone, John, mate, I can fucking see you. Can you open the door?
This isn't funny, John.
At the end of the hallway, is the toilet. Sorry, Mum. outing you a little bit. My mum came out the toilet and she's like, "All right, hang the fuck on," and she came and opened the door. I was like, I didn't think anything of it, and then I was just like, "Hang on, where's John?" And he's like, "Oh, he went home directly after you." I was like, "What? There's someone in your bedroom."
Yeah, man, it's creepy.
It was the paedophile schoolmaster.
It was it was old fucking Nancy McGee. I have also had a weird experience. So many years ago, I went on a ghost tour in Edinburgh. And it's weird. So you go into all the bits like the caves, they call it, during the Fringe. But it's all sort of like Edinburgh's on 2 levels. So there's like this underground bit and it's all very old and whatever. And we're doing it all. And he's taken us in one of these cave bits. And I'm at the back of the group and there's only a candle in the corner of the room. And the guy's doing the talk, and I see a bloke in a cloak come at the back of the room, and I go, he's the bloke they employ to make us all now jump out of our skin, right? They have a jump scare somewhere in the show, and I've seen him and gone, everyone else is going to be absolutely terrified, but I've clocked him, so I'm not going to jump when he makes everyone jump. And the bloke doing the tour, and I can see him, he stood there in this big cloak, really scary. And the bloke doing the tour went, anyway, off we go. And we turned around and there was nobody there. And that was pretty, and I remember it because I was so smug about it as well. Going, oh yeah, everyone else is going to really be scared. I don't care.
That is weird.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But you know what? Like, it was really dim. You know, it's that classic thing. Have you ever done, I don't know if you've done this. Have you ever sat in a room? This is nothing to do with. I'm just nattering. I've had 2 pints. I'm really sorry. I've been to the pub, and we're going to a gig, so I'm going to the pub first, right? That's the rules. That's what I've come in to do. When you sit in one candle in a room and look in a mirror at yourself, after about 10 minutes, your brain gets bored and you hallucinate. Your face starts to change. You become someone else and all that. It's all that kind of stuff, isn't it? Like, we're all mad.
Yeah,
it probably is that.
Yeah,
and maybe I should or shouldn't say this, but when I was much younger and less wise, and I'd been awake for too many days, I definitely saw my granddad.
But why were you awake
And
for
Was he in a Vauxhall Astra outside waiting for you?
Yeah.
Granddad's text me, just round the corner, bro. Be 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Are we saying why you were awake for so many days though? Because that may play a little bit of a part.
Yeah, man. What are we talking here? We talking like what powders we talking about?
How old are you, Matt?
33.
Okay, you might know it. Do you remember Meow?
Oh my god, yeah, MCAT.
Yeah.
MCAT really took the world by storm for a bit. For
Yeah.
about a year, MCAT was all the rage.
I just remember you had some in my house on a piece of tinfoil on the windowsill, and somehow it burned through the windowsill.
Tinfoil always makes drugs grim, doesn't it? Tinfoil is a bit too real. Mirrors, fine. Shiny surfaces, not a problem. A warm plate, no issue. Tinfoil feels like heroin.
Frowned upon. Yeah. Well, I definitely saw my grand, and I was like, it fucking threw me, and I just like walked through him.
Mad.
But that was, yeah.
I'd have said
opened
hello,
my mind to
but...
that. Yeah.
It was a nice break from talking about my parents' divorce for 12 hours, though. So
You didn't have a chat with the
You're right,
granddad.
Grandad. Fancy a bump of this bad boy? I know you don't like cats, but this meow is out of this world.
and it was. But anyway, moving on, in case my darling mother listens to this.
Look, mate. You cut it out. Cut it out. It's fine.
We're not cutting that out. Sorry, Fran. Love you. So you also competed in season 13 of Dancing on Ice.
Oh, I mean, competed is a very generous term. I was in that series for about 3 seconds.
How was it?
Mate, you know what? I will defend. It's one of my favourite things I've ever done. So it was 2020 when I got signed up for it. I was a reserve. So what they have is, because Dancing on Ice, there are so many injuries, right?
Yeah.
They have like 2 extra celebs in that, in air quotes, basically who do all the training with a partner in case they're needed. So I was that, and so I went skating 5 days a week from October to January. I went out and I ice skated every day. It was lockdown. It was fantastic. I loved it. Really fun. And then I thought they weren't going to use me. And then Rufus Hound got injured. Conveniently, the same week they found some of his old racist tweets. That's how that happened. And so I was drafted in. But the week I was drafted in, so it was like the Wednesday, they were like, you're going in the show on Sunday. And then I got voted out that week.
Good effort.
Yeah.
In and
fair
out,
effort.
mate.
There you
They
go.
had to- you know what though? They had to pay me double, so
Exactly.
I didn't
Took the
mind.
money and fucked off. Like, nicely done.
Mate, look, very early in my career, the first few years, I was obsessed with career and where am I going to go and how am I going to get to where I want to be? Can I do that and then get to that? Now I'm just like, what? How much money is it, and will it be a laugh? And I've got to say, Dancing on Ice, the money was terrible, but it was a really good laugh at a point where no one was doing anything. See, I used to go skating to Ali Pali every 5 days a week. It was fantastic.
And you walk away with like a sixth skill as well. I take it you can like.
Oh mate, not only can I do that, like I can ice skate. Like I'm that prick at the ice rink now. When we've gone since, I've got my own ice skates.
No.
Like, I'm that guy. Bag over his shoulder, going backwards, crossing, doing the crossovers. Oh, it's great. It's so good. It's great. I loved it. It was really fun. Like, people slag off those kind of shows. I had a good laugh. Who cares?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, man.
Well, can you do the skiddy thing?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do it on one leg as well. I will say I haven't been ice skating for a while, but yeah, I can ice skate quite well now. I just can't dance. That was my big undoing.
It's the dancing on the ice. That's
That is the problem. And also, but then my appearance was, then you all have to go back at the final and ice skate for a bit, you all do a little bit of your routine, and I stacked it. So that clip ended up going viral, and I felt. But what was even worse is I was pulling my partner through my legs, and I fell on her.
Oh no!
A professional skater, and I just sat on her on the ice. I felt really bad.
A lot of people end up together because it's quite intimate, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more strictly than Dancing on Ice. The weird thing about Dancing on Ice is they're all married to each other. So one guy will be with one celeb and his wife is with another. It's ice skating, I think, is a small world.
Yeah.
So they're all together. It's very weird.
It is
And
weird.
my partner was a lesbian anyway, so my girlfriend wasn't worried.
Oh, that's all right.
They are sorted. Sorted.
That's all right.
Well, Matt, you've got a tour coming up in September, I believe, right?
I do indeed. Yeah, I'm going on a UK tour doing stand-up. It's called Brash. It's basically just an hour and a bit of dick jokes and wank jokes and just messing around, really. It's good. It's good fun. It's going to be a good show, but, there's no message. Lots of stand-ups now, it's and that's how I overcame my neurodiversity.
It isn't going like that.
That's and my relationship with my father never recovered, but I really found myself. None of that. It's just me going, oh, here's a funny joke about a willy.
Nice.
That's
You'll have to come. Where are you both based?
Brighton, pretty much. So
come to Brighton. I'm doing Brighton. Come to
Brighton.
Brighton.
Comedia, right?
Yeah, I'm doing Comedia on the tour. Yeah. And I'm there in May as well. I do the comedy club at Comedia loads. I host it all the time. Great place.
Yeah, we'll come down to that. 100%.
100%.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll hang out. We'll have a few beers. Be great.
Do you have to there's this new is there a fear of what jokes you can tell? Are you on that level?
Are you scared of getting cancelled?
No, yeah, but my jokes, I'm not controversial. So I'm not going on stage and going the problem with trans people or whatever. My stuff is genuinely just just a bit grubby and gross, rather well, not even that. It's just I'm rude. It's rude stuff. Lots of swearing, lots of rude jokes. It's never I'm not political, and I'm not in the culture war of the problem with non-binary people. That's what gets you cancelled now, I think. Really.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure. Okay.
I get that.
Well,
So
we have to come along, 100%.
yeah, 100%. It's on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah, mate, come. It'll be great. It'll be really fun.
Looking forward to that. How long's your tour?
So it starts it's about 2.5 months. It's 32 dates.
Wow.
Nice.
So this is the weird thing. In music, that is a long tour, right? 32 dates around the UK is insane. It's not a long tour in stand-up. That is mid-size, maybe low end of mid-size. My longest I've done, and this one I think we might extend, but I've done 80 before. One of my mates has just done 230 dates. Because stand-up's easy. There's no equipment to take. It's not like touring a band, which is a nightmare, right? Because you've got trucks, you've got everything. Even if you're a support act, you're in a splitter van. It's expensive. It's just me and a support act, and there's loads of nice little theatres and art centres and whatever that you can go to. So in a normal year of gigging, doing the clubs, I can do I think was it 2 years ago I did 320 shows. So it's just the same as that, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're up at Birmingham tomorrow, aren't you?
I'm in Birmingham at the Glee tomorrow. I don't know how quickly this is going out, but yes, I'm going to be in Birmingham. Then I'm in Leeds for a couple of days, and then back down. Yeah, sort of all over the place, mate. But it's just me in the car. It's fine.
Nice.
Love that.
You know, it's not a stressful job.
I thought it would
That's
be,
cool.
but
Well, not especially doing the clubs. It isn't, because it's 20 minutes, and like I have my 20 that works in the clubs, and like I'm trying to writing a show is a bit of a pain at the moment. But yeah, you go on, and like there's 300 people there who all want to have a good time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I know you're saying it's not stressful, but have you ever like bombed on your ass like massively?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times. That is.
How do you like pull it back?
It's really weird, right? Because when you're new, the gigs are awful because you're playing like 4 people in a pub and all that. So it happens all the time. And then you get better and better and kind of climb up the circuit. Like now, so all this weekend I'm at the Glee Clubs, which are like a chain of like custom built comedy clubs. And it's 400 people. The room is built perfectly. The security is great, all that. So when you die in a room like that, it really hurts because it's your fault.
Yeah.
But you just have to ride it out, man. I've done tour shows for an hour to silence. It's really weird. And you think, you've all paid to see just me, and you are not having fun. Because even with, like, I'm guessing you two is music your background?
Yeah. So we went to music uni together and
Been in bands and all that, right?
bands, YouTube kids channel. We'll talk about that in a bit.
We sound like the fucking schoolmaster.
We do.
Yeah, you
I'll
do, man.
probably delve into that a little bit
Jesus.
now.
I need to see your DRB check before we go any further. But in a band, at least, I guess if people aren't paying it, the worst thing is like if you bomb spectacularly and people are heckling and stuff, you go out in flames. It's when you're on stage and it isn't going well and people can't even look at you because they're so embarrassed on your behalf.
Oh,
Like I just remember distinctly dying on my arse at a gig in Bath when I was quite new, and this woman was sat in the front row. She couldn't even look at me. She was like had her head in her hands, and at one point, about 5 minutes in, she went, "You could just go." Like not even being horrible. It was going. She just went, "You could just go." Like she just like that was like a dagger to the heart.
but I think you've got to have that in you for that to brush off you. And obviously, you can talk about these things now. I would kill myself that
Yeah,
night.
but a normal person would go, "I'm never doing that again." The first time that happens when you're gigging, a normal human being would go, "That's it, I'm done, never again." Comedians are not well. Like, it's a really weird thing already to go, right, I'm going to stand in front of people and go, "I'm the funniest person in the room for the next however long." But yeah, just to go, "Oh, I'll try again tomorrow." It's so mental.
That is mental.
It's not a normal way to live.
No.
I guess for us,
terrifying.
the akin thing for a musician is like playing a whole guitar solo completely fucking wrong and
Yeah,
then
but
having
I've
to
done
do
that. I did that
We
at
did,
our
yeah,
Concord
yeah.
gig. I played the whole solo, and it was the first time we ever had a distortion pedal that certainly wasn't ours, but it
I
was,
turned my bass all the way down so no one could hear it. I was like, I'm not letting anyone hear me play this, so fuck you.
You can't do that as a comedian. You can't just go on and go,
no,
just mime it.
You
You
could
would.
try.
Yeah, you could, But yeah, man, I think
Sorry, go on, mate.
no. But being in a band, at least also in a band, you're on stage and there's a few of you to go. We're sharing this experience. What often happens at a gig is you absolutely die on your ass, and then you're straight in the car for 3 hours alone to think about it. That's the issue. Is it's just like it's not a shared experience. Well, that's not true. Like sometimes you do a gig and everyone on the bill dies, right? But mostly you die and then you sit in your car like thinking about your life choices.
Class.
That sounds
Awful.
a very lonely time and a lonely place to be.
Yeah, mate, it's dark.
When you say like, everyone on the bill could be going through the same thing. Is there areas where people are less like, I feel like the more north you go, the
No,
nicer
I love
people
gigs. So considering I am very southern, I have my best gigs in the north.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love gigging up there. What I would find is there are loads of comedians who hate Liverpool. I love gigging in Liverpool. It's one of my favourite cities to play. But if they like you, they love you. If they don't like you, they will let you know. Whereas, look, if you're doing a gig in like say a lovely little place in Sussex, a little art centre, they'll all very politely just let you not do very well and will laugh out of politeness. but you know it's not going well. If you're in like a city centre in Liverpool, Leeds, Hartlepool, I did a gig in once that was really rowdy. There's nowhere to go. They will yell at you and boo you off. I once did a gig. One of the first big comedy clubs that booked me is a club in southeast London called Up the Creek. It's in Greenwich, and it's famously rough, right? This gig, and I remember I was doing my first ever 20-minute paid slot and loads of like unpaid bits. And it was going really well, and a bloke heckled me, and I replied, and it got a laugh, and then he said something back, and I didn't reply well enough, and they all turned, and I left the stage with the entire room chanting "cunt," going, "cunt, cunt, cunt, cunt," until and also at the time I look back, and like they were all out. I was 19.
Oh,
See, what a way to treat a child, basically.
God,
that's so dark.
There's a really funny thing in comedy. There's a famous story that, like, you know, Mariah Carey could walk on stage at the Comedy Store and everyone would go, "Oh my God, it's Mariah Carey." If she hasn't told a joke in the first 30 seconds, they will boo her off.
Yeah.
That's all they want is to. If you can make them laugh straight away, then you're fine.
Nice. Yeah, we would be shit at that. I feel like we'd think we'd like be class, and then we'd get up there and it'd be like, "Hang on, wait, we're fucking terrible."
I've written bits.
Have you?
It's the balls to go and do it.
Go on.
Yeah, man. It's weird, and also I think I think so. My theory on comedy is I don't think it's this weird, ethereal, amazing skill. I think most people, if you made them do 300 gigs, would get okay at it. Most normal people, and like you know, if they learn how to write and all that, like it is something you can learn. But it's just the lifestyle's awful. Like all my friends who like have normal lives, when I go, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend?" I go, "Well, I'm going to Leeds to do 3 shows. Then I'm driving down to Brighton to do a show. Then on the Sunday I'm doing an afternoon thing." They're like, "What? What an awful way to live."
Yeah, but who wants normal, you know? Normal's so boring.
People do, though. You know, people want a bit of security. They don't want to be driving up and down the country, you know, in service stations. The other day, highlight of my year, I was having a wee. Bloke pulls up next to me at the urinal. Another comedian. Lovely stuff. That's the life you live. You bump into each other in a service station and go, "That made my week."
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm probably gonna be a little bit honest about this next question.
Go on.
I heard. So I'm a big fan of Jack Mate's Happy Hour.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge. Actually, it's
What a boy.
One of my main inspirations for starting this podcast. And so obviously I've seen your appearances on.
Yeah.
And there is one particular story you tell about a particular judge from X Factor.
Oh, God, which story is this? I don't remember.
Sharon.
Oh, I fucking love Sharon Osbourne. What a woman. She is mental.
In particular, your initial meeting with her. And
Oh, when she asked if I like to lick out girls.
that one. So what the fuck happened there?
So I got this Xtra Factor job, and like I said, I was like I was just a comic doing the clubs. I was 22. I wasn't even like big in that scene. Like I was like an opening middle act. Like I was a support act. I wasn't a headliner. And I get this job. We go to Glasgow, and they go, "Look, you're not going to meet. We're all in the same hotel." And they go, "You're not going to meet the judges. We're going to get you to meet them on camera tomorrow." I was like, "Yep, great." And it was like Louis, Sharon, Nicole Scherzinger, and Gary Barlow. I was one of Simon's fallow years. And they were like, so the first thing in the morning, right, you're going to meet the judges. Sharon comes up to me, first judge I meet, and she just goes, "Hello, Matt, nice to meet you. Now tell me, do you like to lick out girls?" And let's bear in mind, this is the first thing I've ever filmed in my life. I've never done TV. I'm just like this kid doing stand-up, right, for £100 a night. And I go, and she goes, "Oh, well, your hesitation makes me think you don't." But then we spent 6 months filming that show, and it was so much. She was great fun. She's absolutely bonkers. I remember once
a proposal from her though, or was it like?
I think it was more, "Oh, let's fuck with the new boy."
Nice.
Let's have and she just didn't care. But then conversely would do mad stuff on camera. So loads of times we did some mad things where she was asking about licking peanut butter off my penis and stuff. But then off camera, like when we were off, she was kind and really supportive, and we'd go for dinner and she'd hang out. But then the sort of act, the character I was playing, especially because I was so young, was like, oh, they've hired this like the whole way they played it was, I was hosting it with Caroline, and they were like, oh, but we've hired like just some guy. Like I wasn't even like a presenter. They're like, oh, it's just this guy we've picked up that doesn't know the world, and we're just going to throw him in, and all the judges played along with it, but Sharon especially.
Was there any judges that weren't so nice?
No, you know what? I've got to be fair. We had the best time. So all the judges, and apparently it's the only year. Someone told me it's the only year it's happened. They all liked each other. So we'd film. So on the auditions tour, and then boot camp, and judges' houses, whatever. Every night we're out for dinner. Like every night we're out, or we're in the hotel having a few drinks. Like everyone hung out all the time. And then even when we did the live shows, like we'd finish on a Saturday night at like 11. And Sharon and Louis would be like, right, we're off into Mayfair to go and have dinner. Do you want to come? And you're like, abso-fucking-lutely, I do.
That's sick.
That's amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, man, it was wild. And it's funny because, like, at the time, one of the producers was like, you will never make a show this starry again. Because also, comedians don't really do that kind of stuff. They're like, this will be the most mental thing you ever work on, showbizy like that. Because it was, I just caught the end of X Factor still being big.
Yeah.
So like my year, like there's still 10 million people watching the main show. So you go, oh yeah, we get to fly everywhere first class. We did all judges' houses and all that. And then a couple of years later, like none of that's happening. And yeah, we go to these mad restaurants, hang out with mad people. I remember going out for dinner with Mary J. Blige when we were doing judges' houses in Antigua with Nicole. And Nicole, we were all out for... I'm just sat next to Mary J. Blige having a chat, and I don't really know who she is. And she's just going to me, oh, you really remind me of Mr. Bean. And I'm like, thanks, Mary J. Blige. Cheers.
Nice one, Mary.
What a bitch.
Well,
she doesn't want no dramas. Well, fucking don't say that to me.
Yeah.
let's maybe start asking Matt some music-based questions as well now, yeah?
Okay.
Love it. Let's do it.
You can start this week.
I'll start. They're a little bit crazy questions that we start off with. These are kind of like icebreakers before we get into
No worries. Let's do it. Have we not broken the ice? I feel like we have broken the ice.
We've definitely broken the ice.
We've talked about
musically. We've definitely broken the ice.
My parents divorced briefly.
Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah.
Your drug problem?
Yeah,
Drug problems,
exactly.
yeah.
I actually think Sharon was so attractive then.
And I'm going to say this, she's also fun, which I think is like when I met her, she must have been 60 something, right? But there's something about her. She's got a little sparkle about her that's really good fun.
Yeah, I bet.
She's a laugh. You think you would throw me around, Sharon, and I would be happy with it.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
If we went out on a Friday night, I would be having a Black Sabbath. You know what I mean? Like, it would be lovely.
But she's got to be mental to live in that life,
Yeah. Well,
Mate, there was a point where we did judges' houses. The only judges' house that was actually at the house. We went to Sharon and Ozzy's house.
No way.
And they brought in, like, because the crew's, like, there's 200 people there, right? So there's this loo block for the crew they brought in, like a temporary one. But Sharon came up and she goes, you don't have to use those. If you go above the garage, that's where Ozzy's office is. So go and use Ozzy's loo. And there's a point where I was in Ozzy Osbourne's office loo having a wee, and there is Grammys, there's like everything, Brits, whatever the awards are. The mini version of his Hollywood Walk of Fame star is right there when you win. And I was just like, a year ago, I was working at a lettings office and doing stand-up part-time, and I'm now having a wee in Ozzy Osbourne's personal toilet. This is incredible.
And did it feel like that, or was it like just another day, or were you like, oh my god?
Oh no! Like, I think everything I've ever done, like I think everything is mad. Like anything like that, I'm always like, this is mental, and I always treat it. And actually, in a lot of the cases, should have done like the only time I'm ever going to do it.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing that show, I was like, I don't think they're ever going to, like, they booked me when there was loads of other big names and I went, they're never going to do that again. They're never going to get me back twice. It's like when I went to the Brits. The first time I went to the Brits, I was like, I'm going to treat this like it's never happening again. Like just because I think like too many people get, like, I go to loads of stuff and like have loads of mates that are like, oh God. Like I was chatting to a very, very well-known comedian friend of mine recently, and he was like, BA business class is shit, man. And I was like, I remember when you were a teacher.
Yeah.
I remember when you were still teaching and you were making £80 a gig and you're moaning about different business classes. Let's just enjoy it.
Yeah, you got to. You got to, man.
And I said to him, Romesh, just remember where you came from.
Yeah, Rom.
He is quite sulky for a funny bloke.
He's a diva, man. He's a diva these days. I'm joking. He's absolutely lovely. No, and also, it's the act. He's not that sulky.
Was he not?
Nah,
I can
he's
imagine
quite
it to be
happy.
quite a laugh. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, he is a laugh, to be fair.
yeah.
Right.
Him and Rob. I reckon Rob Beckett would be.
get on these.
Sorry, my bad. Right, sorry.
I am also distracting you both. That is happening as well.
It's all good.
No,
don't
don't be
don't worry
silly.
about it. I call them icebreakers, but they're not. They're musical icebreakers, just to get us to know a little bit more about your musical preference.
But they are fucking weird.
This one's a little bit weird. So, if aliens landed
Mhm.
and asked you to explain human music, what is the first artist you'd show them, and what's the last artist you'd show them? So, what's like the best, and what's the fucking shit that you don't want them to?
What is the so my preference of what's the best and what shit is what you want, really, rather than me going, I'll show them, something beautiful and amazing from Mozart.
Well, it's what you think, I guess, would be a good, but you gotta like it, I guess, as well. So,
Mate,
like,
if we're going for what I like, if I'm going to the aliens, get on my taste. It's pop punk and emo, man.
Get
Fuck
in.
yes.
Go on, lad.
That's
what
very
we
much
like to
us.
hear.
Did you know that before I came on that I'm into that?
not at all.
No,
I used to run in London. When I lived in London, I ran a pop punk and emo club night for a while called Teenage Dirtbags that I promoted and ran. I DJ'd it. Mate, Slam Dunk, Warp Tour 2006, 7.
There
If
you
I
go.
could go back in time, I'd just live on that.
Yeah, that's where
class.
it's at.
So we go to Slam Dunk every year.
I'm going to say this. I've never been, and I'm gutted about it because it's so my thing as well.
It's
is
such
good.
a nice day out compared to some festivals you go to. Like you can go to Reading now or stuff, and you
Mate,
get
Reading is
stuff nicked
dog
and-
shit.
isn't it? It used to be good, but
Well, but also, I don't know if it's because I've gotten older. Reading is no longer for me.
no,
It's not
same.
designed for adults, is it?
No, so
We've had
true.
this conversation in a like you even said that exact line. You said,
Yeah.
"Am I just old now?" Like it's changed so much. The Sunday is not the rock day anymore. It's
But I don't know
what rapper
people
can you
there.
get on?
Like the headliners, I couldn't tell you a song from some of them. Am I just?
Yeah, well, so they used to have comedy there. I've played Reading loads, and it's one of those where there's years where I've gone, oh, I wonder who's on this. The day I'm playing, oh, if there's someone good on, I'll stick around. And it's like Lil Sims or someone, and I'm like, I'm sure they're very good at what they do, but I don't even know what they do. So I just think this is. Although this year, I am going this year for a day. I've bought a ticket.
Nice. Which day?
Come on, man. The Bring Me the Horizon
I was
day.
going to say.
Fair
Okay,
play.
cool.
Bring Me the Horizon, Limp Bizkit, Enter Shikari, South Arcade.
Nice.
Fucking get me in.
Unreal.
So you're a South Arcade fan as well, yeah?
Well, so I live in Oxfordshire. I'm from Oxford, and they are a good Oxford success story at the moment.
very much.
They are from, I think, Whitney, another town not that far from me. And yeah, man, I love them.
Yeah. 2005 is a absolute banger for me.
It's one of them. I've had tickets to see them and then couldn't go, and then basically between that moment and now, which was not even a year ago, they've blown up. They were already on the way, but they have just blown up even more. And they're fucking kids.
Mm.
They're so young. They're so good.
We're meant to be doing an interview with them at Slam Dunk this year.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
I hate that they're young and so good.
Oh, it's a shame.
I wanna
I
be
look at them and I go, that was me. Well, I was 19 and hot once and good, exciting. And now I'm 33 and past it. It's coming for you as well, kids.
That social media game, their social media game's on point as well. I don't know,
But also I think they do crucially have the shit to back it up with.
Yeah.
And I think, they're obviously doing the main stage at Reading, but yeah, they're really exciting, man. I run a big charity comedy night in Oxford once a year, and I invited them. And they're like, yeah, we'll be there. And then they didn't show up, and I was gutted because they were like, we got the day wrong. We were in LA, and I was like, but I just wanted to make you my friends. They're so good. They're so talented.
Yeah, they're spoken about a lot these days, aren't they?
They are. I think we've had chats with people. I didn't realize how many people knew them. To be fair,
same,
from all our guests
same.
that we've had on so far.
They are one of those that I, a year ago, was telling, especially my mates who used to be into Blink and all that. I've been telling them to listen to them, and everyone's like, okay, great. They're sort of men in their 30s, and everyone's like, they are absolutely insane. They're so good.
They are good.
I think if they keep writing tunes like they are at the moment, obviously every band you want an evolution, but they are on their way to being like a big British breakout soon, I think.
Yeah, easily.
In a way you don't really get anymore.
Yeah. Are they known in America?
Well,
They're just on tour with Grey Wind and Magnolia Park.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I
They
mean,
did some
I don't
good-
stalk them. I just follow them on Instagram. That's all it is.
Comparing. Yeah. Okay. So emo pop punk. That's what you're giving to the
That's
aliens.
me, mate. Yep, yep.
Love that.
Love
can-
that. Is there any
that's music
particular?
to
If
my
you had
ears.
to pick one artist,
So it's that thing. So Green Day are my like teenage band. So I wouldn't say I listen to that much Green Day anymore. I will always go and see them when they're here. Like I love going to see them live. They're a great live band, and they know that no one gives a shit about their new stuff.
Yeah.
That thank God one band go. No one cares. I think the last time I saw them, they didn't play anything off their new album.
We need more of that.
yeah.
They just played the bangers. That's what we just play the bangers. I don't need anything else. Just play the bangers.
It's a grey area, right? There's people that say the bangers go into American Idiot. Was that the album?
American
I
Idiot.
don't know if they do.
So I would say I would argue their career has two peaks. So Dookie,
Yeah.
obviously,
Ducky's
and,
where it's at.
and American Idiot, and like there are good albums in between, but they're nowhere near. But
Yeah.
American Idiot, I was 13 when American Idiot came out. So like for me, it was that was my album that I went, what on earth is this? This is like awakened my musical. Like I didn't know I was into that music, and a mate of mine played me Holiday maybe when it came out.
Yeah.
And I was listening to like, I don't think I was even really listening to music. Maybe like the song Baby Cakes. I'd quite liked at 13.
That was a banger.
Mate, yeah, fair. It is a banger.
I had the
But
ring-
and then I listened, and then I got that album, and I was like, it blew my head off. And for years, I wouldn't even listen to other bands. Like for about 2 years, I was like, I only listen to Green Day.
I was the same. I went to the Bullet in the Bible tour and everything at Milton Keynes at the bar.
Me too. That was my first gig.
So that is our next question. What was your first gig?
My first gig, the 19th of June, 2005. It was the Milton Keynes Bowl, seeing Green Day on their American Idiot tour. That
I
became
was
their
there.
Bullet in a Bible DVD.
What a first gig.
Lovely. So that
So
was
it was Hard Fi opened.
Yep.
And I went all day. Like I was, 15. I went 14. I went all day. So it was Hard Fi. It was meant to be Simple Plan, and they cancelled. And then Hard Fi came in, and this was just before Hard Fi became like the big indie band of that moment. Taking Back Sunday,
Yep.
Unreal.
Jimmy Eat World,
Yep.
Green Day.
Wow, what a
It was an
lineup.
intense gig as well, and like it was back when Adam from Take It Back Sunday used to like throw the microphone up in the air and swing it about, and it was like the heyday of fucking. Let's not talk about it.
That was just. I think that was like just after like Cute Without the E was just out then.
Take It Back Sunday is one of my favorite bands.
Me too.
However, we've seen them I've made him see them so many times, and
They're
they have
so
progressed-
bad live.
All right.
They're
but at least
so
everyone
bad.
agrees. And
I
think
went to
they
see
know.
them. I went to see them last year at the Kentish Town Forum,
Yeah,
and they were. And it's that thing of I remember like at the time, me and my mate went. The girl Heather, my friend Heather, who gave me the Green Day album. We went to Take It Back Sunday together last year, and she's got 2 kids now. Like it's all it was a room full of 30-somethings.
yeah.
And we got absolutely battered. So I remember in the gig being like, this is amazing. And I didn't take many videos, but the couple I took for like 30 seconds, I watched and I was like, oh, they are not good.
Yeah.
They are not a good live band.
Adam
Every
just stopped
time.
taking cocaine, I'm pretty sure, and then his voice just packed up. He was like, "Fuck this."
It felt like it was the first time they'd ever played together when I look back.
Was the music at least tight?
It's a bit of a mess, if I'm honest. But
yeah.
but I would say it was a really fun time. So even though because it was a good gig in the room, but I think if you watch them live on a DVD, it would be absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fully agree.
That's so funny because we always say that, and I wondered if other Taking
You
Back
always
Sunday
rib me
fans...
for it as well because it hurts me but it's true as well. Like, you know what it was? The start of the decline for when we started seeing it happen was that Slam Dunk one before they played.
When did they do that?
It was 4 or 5 years ago.
Did we not go to... Was Kingston before that?
That wasn't too bad. Like Adam was sat outside having a
Pretty
cigarette.
bad.
To be fair,
It was pretty bad.
Pre-gig.
Were they not good in? Was that the Rose Theatre or the Prism or something?
It was Prism.
The Banquet Records gigs.
Yeah.
I fucking love those gigs.
Yeah.
The only one I went to was Blink doing an acoustic set.
Oh, unreal.
I did
Love that.
Yeah, man. That was when I was at Virgin, and I could get them because we were like a indie rock station. So I just knew their plugger and was like, "Can I come?" And they're like, "Of course you can fucking come, mate." Yeah.
What a content.
I interviewed him. I interviewed Mark and Matt Skiba once, and then Mark and Alex from All Time Low had a side project, and they came on my radio show.
I like All Time Low.
How was interviewing, like, how is Mark in real life? Were you happy?
Everything I wanted him to be, because like that for me, like there was a few interviews I did. So them, a lot of those kind of bands, basically, like when I was at Virgin, Edith Bowman would have like the big indie acts and rock acts, and like I had Blink, Enter Shikari, Yumi at 6. I think did like 5 sessions on my show. You know, like I had them. That was, and basically it was great because I just went, who do I want to meet?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're into that sort of music and that's landed on your plate, like you are
Why wouldn't you?
the dream.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely great.
What I want to know is, on that bill of your first gig, how did Hardfire go down?
Hardfire was sick.
Was it well
They were
received?
really good. You got to remember, this is their first album. Their first album is even though they weren't like the same genre, it is a really objectively good album. And I remember it was absolutely scorching. You know, it was that kind of day where Hardfire would work.
Yeah.
What was his little instrument? He had this he had one of those things.
Oh,
where
like
you
a
blow
weird like little keyboard that he blowed into.
Have you seen that?
Hardfire?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he
man.
some of the songs open with him and it's a little handheld keyboard, but you have the pipe. And
I've got one of those.
Yeah, that. So
Yeah.
that's like one of the lead
That's
singers.
like he played that on stage in front of 65,000 people. You're like, come on, mate.
Fuck. I got one in the charity shop and I was like, whose mouth has this been in? But
I
Probably
think
the guy from Hardfire. You know, it's not gone great for them since. He had to sell it.
yeah, what happened to them though?
So-
Like, you can't go from that album.
they're from Staines.
Is that what happened?
So obviously where my dad's from.
Yeah.
And I think they've got a pub or something now, or a bar or something.
I think they made a good amount of money and don't really have to work, but they sold over 1 million copies that first album sold. And then I think it was then basically, I remember reading an article about it. Their 4th album sold like 7,000 copies. Like it was like this massive peak and then just a drop off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because the second album was okay.
I didn't listen to it. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
didn't know they had any more than that.
No.
But I hope they're doing well.
Was it Stars of CCTV?
Yeah.
That's one.
That was the one.
So I guess the next. Should we? Yeah,
Shall-
the next question.
Yeah, go on.
Shall. Who? So this is a bit of it's a slightly deep question, and it doesn't have to be kind of music or celebrity related. It can be personal to you or anything like that. But who is your biggest hero in life?
Oh, God. My younger brother.
What an answer.
So my younger brother is called Alex. He's like 8 years younger than me, but he's autistic and brilliant. But he's an ambassador for the National Autistic Society and does loads of like talks about autism and like raising awareness. And he's the happiest person I've ever met. Like he wakes up and he sings in the shower every single day. So he's my hero.
Love that.
What a great answer.
Flying
Well
the
in.
flag. My son's got autism, so.
Oh,
love to see
really?
that.
Yeah, man. He's an absolute inspiration. You know, I think for years he was embarrassed about it, and you know when he was at school and stuff, and then started to really embrace it. He made a video, like this sort of video about his day with autism when he was at college, and like that sort of made him really embrace it. And ever since then, he does loads of fundraising for it and talks at conferences. Yeah, and you know he's a groundskeeper. My brother, he works for the local council, like cutting grass and stuff, and he loves it. And they've just made him. Our local council have just made him one of their sort of diversity and extra needs ambassadors, and he's on their board now. He's on their inclusion board, talking about autism. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, that's it.
That's like the most wholesome shout out for biggest hero in life that I think we've ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
that. Like we'd normally get like mum, got
Bowie.
a dad the other day. We never get dads.
Yeah.
Good beats.
Bill, his name's Alex, right?
Yeah. He's absolutely
Shout out
great.
Alex.
Yeah,
I'm big up.
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
Love that.
Also, a
Legend.
massive live music guy. Like that is his special interest is basically going to gigs. He goes to so many gigs. He always asks me, like, he'll go and see someone and they're opening for another band. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I went to Upstairs at the Chuckle and Fuck or whatever, like this tiny little place, because I saw this band and I thought I want to support them. And I'm like, yeah, good for you.
Legend.
Yeah,
I love that. There's definitely not enough of that.
Definitely. Matt, do you
Yes.
listen to music on like Spotify and things like that? Is that your choice?
Yeah, I'm an Apple Music guy.
Music, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you got
I'm
your
sorry.
phone to hand by any chance?
Yeah, I do. Let's do it.
We're gonna play a game of Apple Music roulette.
Oh,
Amazing. So what do I need to do?
So if you go into like whatever is akin to your liked playlist, so just songs that you've liked.
Song like recently played or something like that's probably easy, isn't it? Just because like like songs will just be like an app. There's too much on here.
And then just hit shuffle, and we want 3 songs. Don't play them out loud, copyright and things like that. Is always an issue.
Hang on.
Just let
Hang
us
on,
know
wait. Yeah. So 3 songs.
3 songs, and just let us know what they are, basically.
Okay, so let's do the first one. Let me just get it ready. Do you want me to play it in the mic?
No, don't play it just because we'll get
right.
copyright
The
strike.
first one is Obey, Youngblood with Bring Me the Horizon.
Nice.
fair, good
Okay.
shout.
Wow.
Like
Great song.
that. Yeah, it's true.
I'm in a big Bring Me the Horizon phase at the moment. I only really got into them last year, and I've been making up for lost time.
Nice. Well, one of our guests that we released an episode with recently is a huge Bring Me fan. Tom.
Oh yeah, big up Tom.
Yeah.
Oh my god, mate, they are fantastic. Like my other half, she's loved them like since she was a teenager, and I think she had it. She said once at 15, she had a T-shirt that said "I partied naked with Bring Me the Horizon," which is actually, in hindsight, not the kind of T-shirt you want in the current climate. But yeah, mate, it's this latest album. I heard, like I'd heard them. I'd even played them on the radio a bit, but it was 10 Statues That Cried Blood off their latest album. Blew my head off as a song, and I went, what is this? And basically have gone back and consumed everything.
It's got to be done. Did we not see them at Slam Dunk?
No, you need to meet Tom though, because that was his choice for their encore song for this.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh mate, what a like it is a great. They've done that rare thing where I think a lot of those kind of hardcore bands and like niche music bands don't ever kind of have the foresight to go, we can't do this forever.
Yeah.
And I think Bring Me made me a really smart choice many years ago to go, let's get on Radio 1 and and they've become, considering their first album, there's not a hook on it. And then now it's all big hooks, like catchy melodies, like they're so good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first album is just shouting.
It is. Yeah.
It's an absolute, like it's decent, but it's a mess if you're not into it.
I'm into it.
Just quickly with what you're asking, you just asked if we saw them at Slam Dunk.
Yeah, didn't they like make the pit? Who was that?
No, so last time I saw them, they were supporting Lost Prophets.
Can't really talk about Lost Prophets.
We can't. Well,
Let's
can.
talk about Lost Prophets.
Let's talk about Lost Prophets.
Big fan of their Type In Women. And no, I don't really mean that. Please don't edit that there. I saw, one of the first, my first gig was Green Day. Like, you were there. My next gig was the Lost Prophets at the Astoria in Tottenham Court Road. Great venue.
Good venue.
It's now Crossrail. But what a gig. They were... What a shame he ruined it for all of them, because they were so talented.
All the time.
It's a piss take. Because I want to listen to their songs. I do, but obviously I can't because I'm not allowed to by...
I do.
Rooftops. I'll play that.
I'm so glad you said...
Last train home. I remember once I had a mate who used to do you remember Propaganda, like the rock club night?
Yes.
And he went, the biggest tragedy to Propaganda was not being able to play Last Train Home.
Yeah.
100%.
What a tune. Burn. Oh, they were good. Although I will say they did have a lot of filler. They weren't all bangers. Like some of those albums are stodgy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
See,
but
this must be quite nice. If we're into the same music, like this is great. I never have this conversation with people.
This is it. We I don't think we ever go this deep with it, and it's like...
Sorry, am I a bit too niche?
no, not at all.
It's perfect because there's obviously a huge audience that love this kind of music, but it's just we haven't.
Also, what the other 5 guy? He was only a sixth of it.
Well, I still follow Lee
Didn't
on
they do something else?
Twitter. Yeah, no devotion.
They tried with the guy from Thursday.
Exactly. And it just, I mean, he lives in America, so it's not exactly easy.
But apparently, like, because some of them were living, like, I think it's that everyone was going, how did they not know? And I'm like, no one in a band they don't live on the same street. They're not Ant and Dec, you know? Like,
And I wouldn't be telling others that anyway.
And also, because pre that, I was sort of just into showbiz, like just into TV before that happened. And like, by all accounts, he was an absolute prick. And they all hated him anyway.
Oh, shit.
Well, weirdly, like the show that I saw bring me supporting them was in Wales, and it was the kind of Town Called Hypocrisy album. That was what they were playing for. And I remember we were staying at the local hotel, and these very young girls were coming up to us after, and they're like, "Yeah, we just met the whole band, and they signed our stuff." Ian was a bit weird.
Yeah. And you were like, "Oh my god, they're your first words," you know. But yeah, by all accounts, I heard like already. I think it happens a lot with bands. That you've been in bands. The good thing about being a comic is there's no one else. I mean, I got behind the scenes, but like you're not stuck with anyone on tour and also in a band like that, you blow up and you're on tour all over. You're not home for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like most of 80% of the nights, I come home because I can drive myself back if it's within 3 hours or 4 hours. But they're out away, rubbing each other up. Even if you're friends, that's hard work.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's going, "Do you want to see these photos on my phone?" You go, "No, Ian, not again."
Not again, Ian. I think the worst thing to come from it was H.
Have you seen this fitty I saw in Mothercare?
Do you remember that?
H from Steps got ribbed for being called
'Cause
Ian
he
Watkins, didn't he?
No, did they not? They used his face.
Yeah, in all the reports, they used the wrong pictures.
That's savage.
That's fucking up. Yeah.
That's
like,
really shit. People ring them
If
like,
Matt Edmondson ever gets done for being a nonce, he isn't. This is just an imaginary.
does.
It's going to ruin my career.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I might just get done for it to ruin his.
It's reciprocal. Yeah, love it.
Right, do the independent venue to shout out. I like this bit because it flies the flag a little bit. So, Matt, what we do is we
Yep.
like to give a shout out to a independent venue because they are dying a little bit, struggling, being bought
Yeah.
out, being turned into flats. All kinds of shit is going on. Is there any independent venue that you love that you want to give a shout out to?
So there's a club in Oxford called the Bullingdon Arms, and it's kind of like, I don't know what it is for bands, but they have a comedy club there every Saturday, and I do it all the time. But yeah, like it's gross. It's absolutely disgusting in there, but that is what you want, isn't it? I don't want to have a wee in a toilet that's dry.
No.
I want every surface to be absolutely soaking for no reason. But they do loads of amazing stuff, loads of good club nights. They sort of have lent into D&B and stuff a bit more now, but like they still have loads of good bands there.
Nice.
Bullingdon Arms. Shout out.
Shout out, Billing.
Love that.
Let's set the scene.
Let's set the scene. So we're going to move into the actual the main reason why you're here now that we're
Yeah, sorry, mate. We're an hour in, and I haven't spoken about what you want me to.
It's fine because we tend to do this. We kind of split the whole thing in half, where it tends to be like the first half is essentially just asking you nonsense questions, and then we do like 20 minutes on your dream gig, and then call it a day.
It's just an excuse to chat, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Podcast.
5 minutes on Ian Watkins.
Mate,
Good
you
times.
got to talk about Lost Profits.
What a tragedy, because he was in Steps. Yeah?
Yeah. Fucking Ian.
Is this thing fucking on? What's going on? Anyway, let's do the gig.
What venue do you are you doing?
So, I am going to do it at the Milton Keynes Bowl, just because it has a special place in my heart, because it was my first ever gig. What I like about the Milton Keynes Bowl is it's democratic. So there is no tiered system of tickets. I'm sure you could put in a golden circle, but I've never been to a gig where everyone's paid the same. It's how early you get there, or if you want to stand at the back, it's all sloped. So it means that even if you stand at the back, so I went to Bloodfest last year, when Youngblood did his thing there.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know anyone who was on. We know Youngblood, obviously. Excuse me. And we decided, let's go and sit on the slope. And we still had a cracking gig. Whereas when I'm at the O2 up somewhere, I think it's because I didn't have £400. Fuck you.
Yeah, I get that.
I
That's
love
why I
that.
like Brixton Academy. That little slope goes down. You know,
Mate, all those old theatres, because they put them, the seats are all on slopes in a lot of theatres.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Love that. Brixton.
So it's a big venue, I understand. You know, I imagine a lot of people go for intimacy, but I just think I like the vibe and it's got a special place in my heart.
No, I think it's a bloody good
It's
pick.
a huge choice.
It's a
yeah,
good
love
venue.
that.
And in terms of who you're going with, so basically, I say this all the time, but I've been to gigs where I can't even remember how the actual gig was,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I had
yeah.
the sickest night because of the lads and girls that I went with, people that I've been friends with for years. So who's coming with you?
So I'm going to take my friend Adam. So Adam now sells cloud solutions, but he's really into music. He's become a proper person. And every gig we've ever been to together, even if like we've done it where, when you go to a band you're not as bothered about, but they love.
Yeah.
You don't feel unincluded. He makes you involved. And the same, he comes to gigs where he's not as into the band, but I am.
Yeah.
And it's still a good time. It doesn't matter that you're not into it and you don't know every word of every song.
That's
Love
like
that.
us.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You've dragged me to some.
I've dragged you to some
some
questionable
things.
gigs. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's the worst gig he's taken you to?
That is a good question.
The worst, probably
go on.
Taking Back Sunday.
Fuck you.
Many
Yeah, man.
times. But it's nice to see them.
But look, you go knowing that. It's like, I've
yeah.
seen Blink, right? And Blink 182, for those who aren't, into it. I saw them with Matt Skiba and I saw them with Tom DeLonge when he came back and I was like, oh, he's shit at this.
Yeah.
He cannot sing an absolute note. Whereas Skiba, brilliant. Could sing, was brilliant, like did all their old songs brilliantly. Tom can't sing. He's awful live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't mind. But the thing is, the whole Blink, like one of my mates is like a Blink 182 obsessive, and he goes, "No, I know he's shit. Like, but so it's fine." Is it when it's £300 a ticket?
Has he always been shit?
Yeah.
Has
Yeah.
he?
He's never been amazing, that's for sure.
I saw Angels and Airwaves, and it was horrendous.
Oh no.
Oh, it was like a bag of cats being shaked.
Did you know the bass player from
I'm into that.
Angels and Airways is the former bass player from Taking Back Sunday? Yeah.
Is it? That's probably why
Knowledge.
Shit.
Look at that. He's a Taking Back Sunday weirdo.
Yeah.
So I went to Warped Tour years ago. I was in Canada on holiday with my granddad, and I took my granddad to Warped Tour. And do you remember Fred from Taking Back Sunday?
Yeah.
He had another thing for a while.
The colour
And
Fred.
The Colour Fred. And I remember I saw them, and my granddad was stood by the fence, and he could see the band when they came off stage. He went, "Oi, over here." And he went, "My grandson wants to come back and like hang out." And they went, "Yeah, fine." Just went backstage with them for a bit.
Amazing.
My granddad like pimped me out.
To Fred.
Thank God I wasn't into Lost Profits.
Oh shit.
Okay, so when you've picked your venue, you've picked who you're going with, but when you're there, what's your kind of go to? What's the first thing you do? Do you go and buy drinks? Are you looking at merch?
Pint of Grim cider
Good.
every time. Like I love a drink anyway, but like I love a drink at a gig. I don't know if I could go to a gig and not sort of by the end be quite battered.
As long as it's not carling, though. I hate carling at a gig.
Carling's just piss in a can.
Yeah.
But then it
Wow.
kind
Yeah.
of works for festivals.
What I would say is shit cider is easier to drink.
Absolutely.
So always like, what is it at gigs? Two bog.
Yeah.
Brothers, the worst two ciders on the face of the fucking planet. And anytime you go, you're like, that'll be £18 for the worst apple you've ever eaten.
Yeah.
For
that's so
fuck's
true.
sake.
Do you buy merch?
Never really. Sometimes, but I'm not a merch guy.
No.
So I have bought merch, but I wouldn't say it's a thing I do at every gig I go to.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, they take the piss.
Also, I just think like, are you merch guys?
No, never.
Used to be.
I wish
I've got-
I could.
You know what? So I saw the Wombats about 4 weeks ago, and they had. God, it sounds like I go to loads of music. I really don't. But my girlfriend loves the Wombats, and we went to Scotland. They were on holiday, did the Highlands. They were playing in Glasgow. We're like last night, Wombats, and they had an amazing T-shirt, and we both bought one.
Fair.
But it was a really good design that was sort of irrelevant. It says the Wombats on it, but it's still a cool T-shirt without that.
Yeah. Okay.
That I will buy. I'm not just buying, like, I'm going to say, there's a lot of bands with terrible merch, terrible designs. And I think make it a bit less about you and just a cool design with you involved, then you'll sell more.
Yeah, that's true.
I went and saw Bowling for Soup recently, and they were being supported by Wheatus. And the Wheatus hoodie was 75 quid, and it just...
What the fuck are you on about?
Yeah.
That's savage.
And it just,
Oh my God. So look, I think like a t-shirt, I think it was like 26 quid. I was like, but also I'm very aware supporting artists, whatever, you know, like I don't do merch on tour because I'm playing 150 seat venues. No one gives a shit. But like, I think, that is going to the band in some way.
Yeah.
And it was it was really nice. But 75 for Wheatus.
Yeah. That's bitter.
Wheatus were the first ever band.
I don't think they've got 75 fans.
No, they haven't.
I'm one.
Are you though? Are you a Wheatus fan?
I am, mate. They were the first ever people to come on the podcast 4 years ago before it was an actual podcast.
Yeah, but are you a
Yeah, there
Wheatus
we go.
fan?
Yeah. Come on, support your former guests.
I
But they
can't.
did have to take time off their day jobs to do it.
They did, and they did it for free, and they were lovely about it, and they might be coming back.
What's your
on.
favourite song?
Obviously, Teenage Dirtbag.
What's your second favourite song?
Teenage Dirtbag is.
Listening to Lightning.
You know what? I'm being unfair on Wheatus because
Leroy.
they had a one-hit wonder when you still made money on them.
Yeah.
I bet they made an absolute mint.
Oh yeah.
Like Wheatus was set for life, and actually, like I bet they're a really good laugh live. I would, if Wheatus were playing near me and I was free, I would absolutely go.
They you know what? I went and I was in my normal day job. I work in events, and I was doing an expo in Liverpool, and I was there alone, and Wheatus were playing there. And I went and saw them, and it was fucking class. And the way that they do their set list is they ask the audience what you want to hear. So you just
So it's
shout out.
4 hours of Teenage Dirtbag
Pretty much, yeah. They're like,
and a little respect in the middle.
exactly. They're like, we won't do Teenage Dirtbag to the end, otherwise you'll all fuck off. So
Well, it's like, you know, Chesney Hawkes does "I Am the One and Only" twice,
Yeah.
beginning and end.
Yeah. I think
Makes
some
sense.
bands need that.
But then I think if you dive into their like the stuff they have released I'm talking shit.
Oh my
We've
God,
got
look at this Wheatus nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a loser.
Right, in
Let's
the
move
gig, in the bowl, at your
Yep.
team gig, where are you standing for it?
So I am standing on the flat, and I can still make out their facial features, but I can move. I'm not at the front. I'm
Yeah.
not crushed up, and I've got there exactly when I fancied. Not 5-6 hours before the gig starts. I'm stood. Everyone's about 3 feet away from me, but I can still see the whites of the performer's eyes.
Yeah. That's a
I like
great
that.
spot.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with age.
You move slowly back.
You do.
Oh, I remember getting to gigs and being like, I'm on the barrier.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a Ryanair flight. You're not on them. That isn't the good bit. Where you want to be is a corporate box.
Yeah, so true. But yeah, we certainly moved further back as we've got older.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, if there's more than 2 support acts, I'm out.
Someone said it recently, like a good place to be is like to the side of the sound booth because there's a bit of space and it's not too far away and they have to.
Yeah, that's you know what? In a lot of venues, that is my preferred place. Adjacent sound booth, because you think in a lot of theatre-y spaces like Brixton or like the Kentish Town Forum, that is still really close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, but yeah, at this, you're still a fair bit back, somewhere like the Bowl. So,
Exactly.
but I want to be able to also, I never stay for the last song. Not anymore. When I was younger, I did, but now 2 or 3 songs, I always go on Setlist FM and I go, right, we're 2 from the end. Let's get to the car.
What did they play last night? Check it out.
Yeah. Because I need to know. I need to know. I need to know that I'm going to not have to wait to get home.
What if it's your favourite song though? By them. Are you like fucking it off just so you can beat the crowd?
Yeah, always.
Same.
Fair.
Without fail.
We do the same.
We don't. Well, no, we have because
Maybe not at gigs.
we've done it for Take It Back Sunday because we've seen them like 20 times. Like Catfish, we didn't.
You need to be
Sum
with the
41
person.
we didn't.
You need to be at the gig with someone that's on the same level. Nathan Rosario.
That's the tricky
It's
thing,
always
isn't
like,
it?
"Shall we fuck off?" And I'm like,
And look, I'm not saying I haven't stayed for last songs, but I would rather be in the car.
That's
yeah.
fair enough. That's
I
fair
love
enough.
that you said that. It
I
makes
get
me
it.
feel better
My
about myself.
my older brother does it like quite a lot as well, because it's like you kind of know what you're expecting here, so you know you're gonna get the song that you want, but like you don't have to be here for it.
It's just getting out afterwards.
I also am going to say, just do an hour and a half, no more. Like last time I went to see, I've seen Green Day loads, and they always do like 3 hours. And look, it's all great hits, but I took my girlfriend who likes them a bit and knew all the songs, but she was like, after 2 hours, you're like, are we still going? An hour and a half, the best songs that everyone loves, and then let's get out.
Yeah, the hits and go.
Yeah.
Fair. Well, a few more questions before we asked about the opening act.
A bit nosy, ain't you?
Always a bit nosy, mate. This is literally what we do.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Go on then.
All right, Matt. If you had to roast one legendary musician live on TV, who would it be, and what would your first line be?
God, that's a really good question. I would roast. God, there's so many. I'd roast someone really sort of naff, I think. It's much easier. I once actually did roast Richie from Five on telly. And the joke he made them take out is his wife at the time had 4 children by four men. So I went, oh, it's lovely to meet the man whose wife is known as the Range Rover. So there we go. Let's just do that because that's easier.
I like it.
And
And he made them take it out of the show. And he'd come on a roast show. It was on ITV2 years ago. And then was upset that he got people insulted him.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you
You
can't
gotta have
come
a
on,
bit of a
do
sense
that.
of humour, surely. Like if you're gonna
Yeah.
try and book yourself for something like that.
But you are right. They're back in business on
They are
5.
back.
Are they still 5?
They are 5.
Let's
I've invited them on. We'll see.
Brutal. There was a point where I was more famous than Five in the year I was in, and not anymore. They haven't even replied.
I think we're more famous than 5.
Well, there would have been times
Yeah.
where you absolutely would have been. Yeah, for sure.
when we played at Concord.
My local school.
Yeah.
Everyone knows me.
All right, I've got a question. What song makes you feel like you're the main character, even if you're just taking the bins out?
Oh my God. Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles.
What
Big
a song.
tune.
But like, whenever that's in your headphones, you're like, am I living my dream life? You know, it's that moment. Like, I'm on the tube or something, going to some like crap gig, and I'm like, it comes on, I go, oh yeah, this is all about me. Actually, I'm great.
It is a bit like that.
Do you remember me sending
It's
you
just got that vibe, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
so
Slam
good.
Dunk, you know, it's all like the heavy shit, and then they play that over the tannoy, and then you've got all the emos and goths singing along. I fucking love that.
Mate. Do you remember when I sent you like me doing a little cover of the beginning of that? Little
Yes.
guitar cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
banger. What a
What,
song.
yours?
Absolute tune, mate.
Yeah.
Yours is okay.
Mine's amazing.
This is how, like, let me see how deep cut you are into this sort of pop punk thing.
Go on.
Have you heard Alex Melton's cover of 1,000 Miles?
Yeah.
We want
We know all this
we want
shit.
Alex
Oh
Melton
my
on the
God.
podcast so
Oh my God. I think, look,
There's Alex Melton.
Yeah, that's
I think we might be friends. I think this is exciting. Next time I'm in Brighton, we're going to go out. We're
we
going
are.
to a
We need to
club
find
night
gigs.
because,
Yeah.
Bring me out.
yeah.
Whoa.
No, I won't. But Alex Melton, I've never spoken to anyone other than you.
Mate, I'm obsessed with him. He's great.
Have you seen he started releasing his own stuff as well? Like
Yeah, I'm not interested. Do
No,
more covers.
me neither. Fuck
exactly,
that.
exactly.
Give a shit, mate. Come on,
Yeah.
move on.
What would he be like on a night out?
I think, so this is my theory. I think he's very talented. Anyone that talented, I always think they're probably quite dull
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gives
because he's
sort of,
so
like,
good.
slightly dull vibes.
Yeah, you know what? Because it's so meticulous and brilliantly done. That is weeks of planning. And I think, I don't want to be around that. Just give me the end product.
Yeah.
His country covers of some songs are pretty tasty as well. To be fair, he kind of mixes
Some
up a little bit.
bangers.
Fair. I can't believe you just mentioned Alex Melton. That's blown me away.
Every time I come here, you're like, check out this Alex Melton cover.
Literally, I'm just like, he's released a new one. Let's go.
He's like my 4th most played artist. I love him.
Oh,
That's
amazing.
sick. I love that.
Okay, so if you had to turn your worst gig into a song from a musical, what would the title be?
Oh my God, my worst gig. I'm thinking about crashing my car into this barrier.
Perfect.
That's what I would think.
Is this after the cunt?
No, I'm going to say, mate, that wasn't even the worst gig I've ever done.
Well,
I
that
once
leads
did a gig.
into our
What was it, Edinburgh years ago, Jongleurs, and someone threw a pint glass at me, and it smashed just above my head, and I went, I think I'm going to go.
That's Scotland for you.
Yeah, it was a good gig there, it turns out. Like Scotland, that's how they show affection.
Yeah, that's how my mum greets me when I walk. She's from Glasgow. Oh, good times. Right, first support act.
first support act. Let's actually get into your dream gig.
So, who is your first support act? Are we taking back support? Who's the first act?
No, well, some people get upset that we call it support act, but then if you've done it in a kind of realistic fashion,
Okay.
it's the
Also,
first act.
like, I've done loads of support for other comedians. Like, don't bother me. They need to get over themselves.
Yeah,
Quite
fucking
right.
right.
Quite
Love that.
fucking right.
My first support act, we've already spoken about them. It's South Arcade.
There you
Good
go.
shout. Love that.
I think they're the kind of band that at that kind of venue, supporting a big act, will pick up a lot of fans. I think they are ready for those kind of big gigs. I'm excited to see them at Reading
Yeah.
doing the main stage. I think that would be an interesting choice.
I love that. I love that. And what encore song would they be playing?
So they've got a song called "How to Get Away with Murder." It's an absolute banger. That would be the encore.
Good choice.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing them at Slam Dunk. Like I've been watching some of their gig footage on Instagram and stuff, and it's just like it goes off.
Yeah. They weren't there last year, were they?
I don't think so.
Too small then.
I'm gutted. I'm working all that weekend. I'm in Brighton that weekend. Gutted. So I can't, and I'm working the Sunday. I'm doing a show. So I was like, I'm going to go to Slam Dunk in either of them. And yeah, I can't make it. I'm devastated.
On the Sunday, they're doing Slam Dunk, and then they're finishing their set and driving over to One Big Weekend and playing a set there on the same night on Saturday.
I mean,
Living the dream.
my record is 8 in a day, so they can learn.
Wow. Okay. Fair.
8 shows in a day, so they can absolutely get behind me.
How long was each set?
About between 10 and 20 minutes, but it was in Edinburgh during the Fringe. My first one was at 10 a.m. and then the last was at like 2 a.m.
Fair. Well, that's a
yeah.
fucking
That's
fair
hard.
effort.
But
yeah.
normally, like, I quite often do 2 or 3 in a night. That's normal. So, come on, South Arcade.
They need to pull their pants up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking pull your finger out, girl and boys.
That's
Harmony,
Two
Ollie,
gigs a night.
the other guys. We're gonna play a game now, Matt. It's called Mashup Apocalypse.
Sorry, say again.
Mashup Apocalypse.
Yeah.
The genre I've picked here actually works really well now.
Yes.
So basically, the premise is that you have to create a dream supergroup, but there's a catch.
Oh, lovely. Yep.
You have to have one legendary artist, so your Prince, your Freddie Mercury, someone like that. You need one current artist, and then you need a completely unexpected artist who maybe isn't necessarily an artist, so a comedian or. anyone
Right,
like
I've got
that.
it. Are you
But-
ready?
Before you give it to us, I'm just going to give you the band name and the genre quickly.
Go on.
Band name is Slow Clap Walk Away,
Nice.
and the genre is emo Euro pop. So you got to think
Emo Euro pop.
Mike
so,
M meets Eiffel 65.
So, a legendary artist, I would go for.
Can't be Ian
I-
Watkins.
Would you? Yeah. So can I go rock? I can go sort of like Billy Joe Armstrong.
Okay, perfect.
That works, doesn't it? We'll do that. And then current artist, I would have Ollie Sykes.
Okay,
And then wait, my curveball, Pitbull,
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
That works so well.
Love that.
Because I think, look, you got 3 big personalities, all different. I'd love to hear a bit of screaming over Fireball.
yeah. Good
I'd
shout.
love to hear Mr. Worldwide talk about vaginas over Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Can we make that happen?
Slow clap,
Someone
walk
can make
away.
That happen out there.
Because also, I think people would slow clap, walk away. God, do you remember all those fucking band names like that? Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly,
I love
Go
them.
Audio. Like all those things.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Go
they were
Audio.
awful names. Awful band names.
Yeah, but like I listened to them for years, and it was only about a year ago I actually broke down the name Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly. Do you know what I mean?
Awful name.
And I never.
That's full
Awful
stop.
name.
Did you like them though?
Yeah, like it was a guy, wasn't it? He was good, but like
Like a trumpet.
even what was the other one?
Fucking Duckworth or something.
What was the guy from? Oh, Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes. Even that you're like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a twatty name.
Shoegaze
Bright
music.
Eyes. I think I know him. Is it Luke Parker?
Bright Eyes. Is that like he had a song called like Lure or something like that?
Oh, he was in a band. Was he the singer from Brand New? Maybe
That I don't know.
because Brand New changed, and he was a bit of a nonce as well.
The
Was
brand
he?
new guy.
God, Brand
And
New.
then they had history with Taking Back Sunday.
Taking
as
Back
well,
Sunday.
didn't they?
Oh yeah, all the
All ties in.
drama.
Fucking hell.
God, it's like reading Kerrang in 2007. This podcast.
I miss those
Fucking
days.
love the Krang magazine. The posters.
I was a bit more NME, to be fair.
Yeah, you are. You're mod.
In my mum's jeans, my dad's winkle pickers.
Listening to the horrors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah,
Nah, you're more
The View.
The View.
I didn't mind the view.
The
The
twang.
View are all right, man. The twang,
Superstar
yeah.
Tradesman, love that tune.
No, actually, the Klaxons they're almost like punk, like that sort of view.
Oh no, I couldn't do it.
Are they? They're all fucking posh boys.
Yeah. Who was the guy from BIM? What was that band? The drummer, the ginger guy, and they went on to do something a bit.
I don't know. Well, Coots came from BIM.
No, there's just two of them.
Royal Blood.
Maybe I'll get mixed up.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna let you ask this question.
All right, Matt. What's the favourite venue that you've ever performed at?
Oh gosh. So if it's like for an amazing huge gig, Latitude Festival, because Latitude the comedies build equal to the music. So you do the gig and it's like 8,000 people are watching you. So that was really cool. But for my kind of like personal little tick boxes is the New Theatre in Oxford. Because I'm in Oxford, I'm from around there, and that was always the venue I saw people in. So when I did a charity gig there that I now organise and run, and I walked on stage at a venue where I'd seen my first ever comedians. So that was pretty cool.
That's so cool. You're now wearing the T-shirt.
Well, not quite. I'm not doing my own shows there, but like they were. But you know, I've been on that stage. I've yelled at people in that room.
Yeah, there you go. Living the dream. All right.
If I do like this question, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Right. If you had to choose two comedians to start a boy band with, who would you choose, and what would you call the boy band? Right.
So if we're going for success, Jack Skipper, who's like, do you know who Jack Skipper is?
I actually don't know.
I feel like
He's phenomenal. He's quite big on like Instagram and TikTok doing sketches, but he's a phenomenal comedian, but very good looking. If we're doing a boy band, I want handsome guys around me because I'm not carrying it. You know what I mean? Like they need to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. Him and Russell Howard. He's a nice looking boy.
Nice. Good
Is he?
shout.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Is he good looking?
You having a go at Russell Howard?
No, I fucking love Russell Howard.
What would the boy band name? What would the name of the boy band be?
The Energetics.
The Energetics.
That's got an
There you go.
indie enemy feel.
Yeah. It's slightly ADHD feel to it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what's your guilty pleasure song, even though you feel no guilt whatsoever?
TikTok by Kesha.
Tune, okay.
Because it is a banger. It's a
It is a
pure
banger.
banger. But that is my guilty pleasure song. If I'm going really, if we're going to go really guilty, anything from the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack.
Fair play.
Really? Okay.
Fucking love Phantom of the Opera, man. Quite often in my car, I'll be absolutely like full volume, just belting out Phantom.
Love
That
that.
is.
Drive past
So
it.
that's my real answer. There we go.
There you go. I actually forgot to tell you, Matt, but what we do is every song that you mention throughout this whole episode, I create a Spotify playlist and we release it
No way.
about a week
So
after.
I would say from Angel of Music, the kind of main song from Phantom. Let's put that on.
Amazing. Amazing.
I have a question though, and not to keep going over the lost profit shit. Will that be on there?
Last Train Home's going to be on there.
Yeah, man. It's an
Money
absolutely.
in his pocket, the pair of you.
I don't care. You got to separate. Look, people still like Michael Jackson. I can still like Lost Profits.
You mentioned Rooftops, so you're doing it too, dickhead.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
It's a great. You know what? Look, I don't listen to it in the car, but I will listen to it in the house
There you go.
or on headphones.
If I've got headphones
Yeah,
on, I'm
I'll know.
listening to a little bit of most of
You
Do you remember I went through a phase of just having them all in my
don't wear
my
your
life.
t-shirt.
What nonsense? Like him,
Yes.
Gary Glitter,
Love a bit of gag glitter. Let's
Hugh Edwards reading the news. Fucking yes, mate. The 10 o'clock
Hugh
news
Edwards.
theme.
What was he up to, man?
honestly, like
All right, let's go main
Rolf
support
Harris,
act.
wibble wobble. Like,
I mean, people should have clocked him years ago.
it-
What was that about? It just sounds paedophilic.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Heavy breathing is not a good sound.
No. With a bit of
shakes a
2x4.
board?
whatever the
Yeah.
fuck-
Have you done? Look, I'm going to ask this. Have you done this much paedophile talk before on the
not
podcast?
once, not
Were
once.
we to song going? We love Bill Cosby. You know?
I think that the
Oh,
most
shit.
kind of shocking thing Wheater said was that Matt, the bass player, once went to a gig as a child and someone was smoking weed in front of him. But yeah, we've never, I know,
Ooh,
we've never
that's
taken
got
one.
such.
like, hold
Oh,
my
that's
beer.
That's like that's Christian vibes. That's pathetic.
Yeah.
But we
That's
haven't.
like McFly vibes. I'm really devastated by that.
Yeah.
We've never dived into Lost Prophets or the paedophile.
Who started it? Was it me? Or was
I think
it Matt?
we all kind of dove
No,
into
one of you said Lost Profits. I
think it
didn't
was
say
me.
Lost Profits
Yeah,
first. I'm happy to do. Look, mate, I'm a comedian. It doesn't matter. I'll do paedophile jokes.
You're allowed.
Yeah,
It's whatever you have to do after this that might affect it.
Yeah.
I'll pretend I'm a comedian. Yeah,
Fuck it. it will
fucking.
do. Right, let's go main support act of your evening at your dream gig. So who is your first support act? Your main support act?
Second act.
So, Me at 6.
Oh, love that.
Love that. Did you get to catch any of the last tour?
Sadly not. Sadly not. However, I will say this is a name drop scenario. I'm quite good friends with Yumi. I'm chummy with. I know Yumi at 6. You know, I mean, me and Josh are really tight. Quite tight.
Love that.
But what happened was years and years ago, on one of my first tours, I went on Sunday brunch to promote it, and they were on, and I was a massive Yumi at 6 fan. So I basically made it my business to become friends with them.
Oh, I'm so
Well,
jealous.
tell
And
them
they
to
came
come
on my
watch
radio
the
show
pod.
loads, and I basically forced them to be friends. I forced them to be friends with me because I was like, fucking love them.
Would they say they're friends with you?
Probably
as
not. They're like, oh, that weird guy.
Matt keeps calling.
Fucking, I've got. Has he WhatsApped all of us?
Lads, let's start a group chat.
Do you know what? Do you remember before? I think it was before the album. I first watched it when music videos were still a thing, and it was like the original "Save It for the Bedroom" video.
Oh, that was the Astoria.
Oh, I fucking love that.
I remember years ago, I went to see them at the Brixton Academy, and afterwards we were like, I went for a drink with them. I was backstage drinking, and I remember going, ooh. Yeah, I know, mate. I love this. And I remember basically being quite. Oh, this is a theme with me at gigs. I was quite drunk, and they didn't play "Save It for the Bedroom," and me and my girlfriend had gone, and she loves them as well, and we basically cornered one of them, Chris, I think it was, the guitar player, who we didn't know. So he was one of the ones I wasn't like chummy with, and chewed his ear off about going, why wouldn't you play that song? And he's like, oh, we feel like we've moved past it and all that. And we were like, wow, it's the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah, and it is. It's up there.
It's a tune.
It's fucking up
It's a
there.
tune.
So they would be my main support. They're very good live. I remember the first time I saw them was supporting Fall Out Boy at Wembley Arena
Unreal.
in 2007, maybe.
Huge.
And they were like, I remember leaving there going, I need more of that.
Yeah.
They absolutely smashed opening for a band, which is really hard, I think.
Yeah. And
We saw them-
2007, that for me, that was golden time for music.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw them at Slam Dunk. Do you
Year
remember?
6?
Are you okay?
Did we?
They headlined.
Fuck.
Okay, cool. You were, to be fair, you were in so much pain that day that you couldn't walk.
What, that time?
That time.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, mad. It was class. And they're from Weybridge, aren't they?
Yeah.
Weybridge boys.
And what's their encore song?
Save It for the Bedroom.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Yes, it is.
And there's no need to ask why, really, is there?
No.
Like,
I mean, also, I think there's a big thing with bands, I think is really interesting, that most bands' best song is one of their first.
yes.
You know, like you look at Mr. Brightside is the perfect example. That is the first song they ever wrote together.
Yeah.
And you think they have like the Killers are great, right? But they have never topped Mr. Brightside. And I think
No.
there's always that one song on a first album. You know, Green Day's slightly different, I guess, because they had a couple of like, you know, smaller albums. But that first big album, the big song off that, is always kind of their pinnacle. And I don't know why that is. I don't know, you know, what the logic would be, but they never quite get above that.
And you can say that for a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Loads of bands.
You know?
Yeah, so many.
Like, even like, I saw Fall Out Boy last year or the year before. I don't remember. But like, I love Saturday is a great song they play, obviously. And, it, you know, as much as like, you know, Sugar We're Going Down, that whole album is great. Grand Theft Auto for me is the best song they've ever written.
Yeah.
And I think even though they've written some great stuff since, and I don't know what it was, but there's always that one song on that first album that will never be beaten. And I don't know what the psychology and the why that doesn't happen again for them is. It's like magic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like everyone has their own kind of nostalgia for the band to a degree, and obviously that's the
Oh, for sure. Like when they blew up. It's that first song where they blew up with it. That kind of, for everyone, always is the pinnacle.
it's that "Where is your boy tonight?" That fucking that line. It's just-
That is one of my... If at my funeral, that song will be played.
Would they play that now?
Yeah, they did. When I saw them, they did. And I couldn't believe it. They played quite a few. They played that and Dead on Arrival, which is an amazing Fall Out Boy song from the same album that they don't play live. I saw them in Birmingham. Yeah, like 23, I think, in the autumn. And it was... And I've seen Fall Out Boy 4 or 5 times, and it's the only time they played those.
That's pretty good. Last time I saw them was in Brighton, and Kids in Glass Houses supported. Have I told you
Oh my
this?
God, amazing.
They ended their set, Kids in Glass Houses, and the drummer threw his drumstick into the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And I was stood next to this kid, and
And everyone moved out the way.
it's hit this kid in the face next to me, and he goes like that, and then he looks at me, and he opens his mouth, and he goes, "Is my tooth missing?" Half his tooth is just gone.
That's savage, man.
I was like, "Fucking hell, mate, we're not gonna find it here."
Nah. That's
I would get in touch with the band and get them to pay.
I literally told him to do that. I said, "You probably should give him a call, mate, because I feel like you got a case there."
Yeah,
And then
that's
they
not great, is it?
stopped playing together for a bit, so maybe that's what
I think they're back, though.
they are back. We saw them, although they weren't as good.
No, I've heard that a lot.
They were at Slam Dunk
Didn't the
again.
guy say that
Oh,
was
okay,
good
yeah,
as
yeah.
well?
Yeah, they weren't as good, which is upsetting because I fucking loved them.
There was a
Class.
time and a place for me,
Yeah, fair enough.
you know?
Let's play this game.
Ooh, more games.
I'm gonna let you. I did the whole last one, so
Alright.
you crack on with this one.
All right, so Matt, this is the wedding set list from hell.
Yeah.
You must build a 3-song set list that would absolutely ruin a wedding. Songs that would kill the vibe, clear the room, or confuse the attendees. So, for example, the songs could be about breakups or a weirdly placed children's song. Although if someone played the fucking theme tune to Thomas the Tank Engine at my wedding, I would be hyped. I love that tune. That sounds so weird.
Yeah, you
Or
do.
songs that clash in genre and energy.
Okay, so we're going to start with any Slayer song.
Class. Slayer's
Or,
on.
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
Bit of death metal.
Yeah.
Then
That's
we're
two.
going to go for Killing Me Softly.
Nice. Okay.
I fucking hate that song. It's awful, and it's like slit wrists as music, isn't it? Really, like it's so grim.
Yeah.
And then it would be, oh my God. So when I worked at a radio station called Jack for a while, they used to play a song. The cover, Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer did a cover of Dizzy. You know, Dizzy. I hate that song so much, and I think everyone hates it. So they would be my 3.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, I love that. So we now need one song for you to kind of save the marriage.
To get everyone back on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Any Pitbull. I really love Pitbull.
Bring back Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, bring it.
Timber, Fireball, Hotel Motel, like a G6. That isn't one of his, but something like that. Everyone would come back. It's a millennial wedding.
They'll be back.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
good
that.
shout. Good choices. It's that time.
It is. It's headline act. We're on to the last act of the evening.
So I want to talk to you about this
Go for it.
because I've got 3 options that I can't whittle down. And I've thought about this since we booked this podcast in. So that's, a few weeks I've been really umming and ahhing. Do I go Green Day because they are like my nostalgia band? Do I go Blink because they're Blink? Or do I go for a band that I would love to see headline that I've never seen do a live gig, which is Bring Me the Horizon?
I think maybe the
I like
latter.
that. Well, I was gonna say before we do that, we always allow our guests when it's the headline act to bring out a special guest.
So in that case, I also did and ah about Machine Gun Kelly doing his pop punk stuff, which I love.
With Travis on the drums.
Have I don't know
yes,
if you've
please.
seen our YouTube channel at all, Matt.
Wait, what's that song that
Are you okay there? What am I meant to
I
just
don't know
know
if I
for
just had
them?
a fit. That in my head, in my head. That's such a fucking tune.
Mate, he's got loads. There's a great. There's such emo lyrics because obviously he's into that music.
Yeah.
But there's this one where he goes, "I heard you never graduated from high school. The food sucked and the kids were awful. You wanted me to go to law school. I dyed my hair and pierced my nostril." And you're like, "Oh yes, please."
That takes me back, that sort
What
of
a
thing,
legend.
doesn't it?
Oh, what a tune! So I did and ah about him, but I don't think he's quite headline quality.
Okay.
However,
We have
what
got
we're
a-
doing.
We have
sorry,
got
go on.
just very quickly.
What are we doing?
On the YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel for this podcast, there is a clip from our first ever episode where I have maybe drunk a little bit too much and I have very much verbally attacked Machine Gun Kelly.
You can fuck off, mate. I will.
not
I will
okay.
defend him to the hilt.
Only right. It was only.
No, mate, you're a cunt. Stop being a twat.
You
Right?
are a
All right.
cunt.
He's not here to defend himself.
Can I just say one thing? Because I feel like you might.
No, you
mistake
can't.
this
Fuck
slightly.
off.
It's done.
It's because of.
He's shagging Megan Fox. Fuck you.
Yeah, you can't.
Is he still?
He's having a baby.
I thought they
with
broke
her.
up.
I don't give a shit.
It was based on a picture that you took with Jack, mate. Where
What, Machine Gun Kelly and Jack, mate?
have you not seen this picture?
No.
On your phone when you get a second, just type
I'm
in.
gonna have to text Jack and go, "Can you introduce me to Machine Gun Kelly?"
Yeah.
He's going to tell you no because Machine Gun Kelly is not interested in me whatsoever. The picture is Machine Gun Kelly looking miserable next to Jack, who's obviously looking quite happy.
Well, he can't help it. Those teeth are very much doing their own thing.
Yeah, this is true. He
But
could have opened
Sorry,
that
Jack.
picture.
I really love you, Jack.
Jack, if you want to come on the podcast, mate.
I love that man. What a legend.
Mate, yeah, as I said, big
We
influence.
went out for a few beers the other day. Oh, what a guy.
I would love to have him. I'm trying to get Alfie and Robbie on the podcast first because I feel like we've got to work our way up to Stevie and
Would you
Jack.
like me to speak to Jack for you?
some names.
You can probably, you can edit this out, but I can message Jack saying I did a really nice podcast and they love you.
You know what? I'm not even going to edit it
Like,
out.
so Jack and I, we became sort of weirdly Instagram mates before I did the podcast, and then he did my podcast as well. Which because every cunt's got one, haven't they? I've got
Yes,
to.
we do.
It's the law. But yeah, if you want, I can message him and go, "Oh, I did this cool thing, and they love you. Do you want to go and do it?" He
That'd
probably
be
would.
sweet.
Mate, if you're up
Not
for
like
doing that, I'm not
weird
gonna.
love, though.
Yeah, like
cool love.
yeah, we're cool.
Yeah. What
We're
was
not
it?
wearing our Jackmate t-shirts.
Not last Saturday, the Saturday before. I think we went for a few drinks. He's great. He's a lovely man.
I've
Sound.
not only that. Sometimes, on a rare occasion, Jack gets
Yeah.
someone on the podcast that has an interesting life story, and I've got a relatively interesting life story. So I'm hoping that I can reciprocate at some point when we're a little bit bigger.
Alright,
bit
yeah,
small,
nice.
you know?
Fair. I'd love to hear this story, but not now.
You know my life story.
I couldn't give a fuck, mate. Let's just move on.
Crack on. Headline.
Mate, I'm joking. I feel like that was a bit too harsh. I'm really sorry.
There's no such
Not
thing
at
on
all,
this show.
honestly, yeah.
Who are you having though?
So yeah, fuck
So-
Machine Gun Kelly, he's out.
I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to make the choice. Bring me.
I think it's
Lovely.
a good choice.
I've never seen them live ever. I am this year. I'm very excited. But they are a big part of my day every day. And I think the special guest would be they would bring out Blink to do a couple of songs.
I like that.
I love it. Any songs in particular?
I would love them to do Feeling This is my favourite Blink song of all time.
You definitely need to meet Tom. Like,
Really?
Tom Leach is a senior talent manager for like all the people that hang around with Jack, all like Bambino Becky and all of the other YouTubers basically. And he knows
What's his name?
Tom Leach. And
Right.
he picked Blink, and Feeling This was his
Yeah.
encore song, and he's picked
Same answer.
Bring Me.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Feeling This is amazing. So I'd have them come out and do Feeling This and the second song Always.
Yeah,
Blink
big
song.
tunes.
I
Big
love
tunes.
Always, and it's like a little bit underrated Always as well. Like, not many. I don't know. It's not like one of their staple ones that everyone.
I love it.
It's a great song.
It's huge.
So you know what? That whole self-titled album is actually quite brilliant, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't love it when I was younger, and as I've gotten older, like I really like that album.
100%. Yeah, no, I fucking loved it, to be fair, even when it first came out.
Even like Down, I love. Not Now, obviously, is great. You know, the cover when they split up. But yeah, man, they.
What's the song he does with Robert Smith from The Cure? Because I fucking love that song.
I don't know. I've not heard this.
It's on the album. It's I'm not gonna try and sing it to you because
Do it.
Use me highway. That's not the words at all either.
That was offensive, I think, to
I'm
someone.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't
So,
know how I feel
Public
now.
apology quickly. I apologise.
Can I hear the second verse?
Well, Robert Smith's voice is all a bit. He's down all the time, isn't he? All of this I feel now.
you go.
Everything is. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, well, thanks for that. That
There
was
you go.
lovely.
It's Chris
Well, listen
Eubank,
to-
isn't it?
Chris would be class with the podcast.
Only things I feel out. Gotta be great right now. I'm feeling it.
Oh, we need to get AI Chris Eubank like covering Blink songs. I feel like that'd be hilarious. To
You
listen
could
to.
probably do that. We could probably make that happen.
Yeah, I think you could.
Okay, so Feeling This and Always by Blink.
Yeah.
Join in, Bring Me on stage, and then obviously they've performed those songs and they've head off stage and it's Bring Me the Horizon and what is their final encore for the night?
Mantra.
Big tune.
Big song.
I think, like, what a rock song. What a gig song.
Yeah.
I could not imagine how good that would be. That's the thing, is like, this is my headline act. I've never seen them, so I can't conceptualize it, but that is my song for them.
I like it.
Nice.
I want tickets to this gig.
100%. That, to be fair, I think we've said this a few times where there has been a few guests that kind of line up with our taste in music, but this is probably the most.
Alex, mate, I know Alex Melton. Come on.
He knows Alex.
You know Alex
fucking
Melton. That's mad still.
Come on, fucking hell. Like,
question.
Yeah.
we're the same people.
Yeah,
I've
we
got one
are.
more test for you there with that.
Yeah,
that
go on.
then. Hot Mulligan.
I don't mind Hot Mulligan. They're pretty good. I say who I love. They've got one song I cannot get enough of. Waster, WSTR. Do you know them?
You got
No.
me beat there. I don't know them.
Oh, they're great. They've got a song called Filthy. It is so catchy. I am obsessed with it. I
need to
can't
get
get
on
enough of it.
We're gonna.
And
Have
the
Yeah,
fact that he likes it and is passionate about it, I know we're going to fucking love
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Look, if I know that two men are going to like the song that I'm suggesting, this is it.
Yeah.
Good.
But Hot Mulligan, that's a bit of a sour
No, I like
song for me.
Hot Mulligan are decent. I really like Hot Milk as well. I think they're decent.
Hot Milk are good.
I think
Yeah.
we've seen
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But Hot Mulligan, we went to see them. We basically bought them weed, right?
We bought them weed.
Fucking great. I
To
love this story
entice them onto the
already.
pod, and they didn't fucking get back to us. So I want my weed back and fuck 'em.
Cunts. That's what they are. Cunts.
They're
You don't need to
cunts.
say anything else.
Yeah.
But I also
Guys.
love you, and please come on.
Bunch of twats. You know what? Tell them to fuck off when they want to come on.
It must have been shit weed. But there we go.
It wasn't much weed, to be fair. We bought. we wrapped up a
Tens
little.
for a rock band.
Little
It might have been Rocket, actually.
Yeah.
just got some oregano, put it in a bag with a little thing with our podcast logo on, and say, "Come on the podcast."
Well, you sourced it, so if that's what happened,
You
it's on
sourced
you.
it. You very
Okay,
much
I
sourced it.
I live 130 miles from you. I know how to get weed in Brighton. Come on, fucking sort your
Okay.
life out.
Right. Would you rather's?
Yeah,
Should we do
okay.
some? Yeah.
All right, Matt, would you rather only be able to speak in song lyrics or only communicate through interpretive dance.
Song lyrics.
Nice.
It's got to be
Nice. Yeah.
Because every sentence ever has been used as a song lyric, right? You can find something.
Yeah, 100%. Or you
Yeah.
could say something like proper, just like...
You'd be strong and mysterious, wouldn't you? Because it'd be like poetic.
Yeah, bit annoying.
You'd be like, you're crossing the road, and so Sally can wait. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh, God, this guy's amazing.
yeah. We need some of these guys. All right, you go.
Okay. Would you rather be stuck in a lift with a death metal band doing vocal warm-ups or a group of flautists practicing hot cross buns on a loop?
Death metal band.
I feel
You
like
know
that was
why?
easy.
Because I think if you went, lads, that's enough now. Metalheads are the nicest people in the world.
True.
Like, I've been to all sorts of gigs, metal gigs, they are fucking delightful. Whereas I think people that are into classical music and think they're flautists, whatever they call themselves, bunch of pretentious pricks, aren't they? So, you know what I mean? Like, you could get on with the death metal boys. What I love about death metal bands is you meet them and they are the loveliest, happiest people. Like, oh, come to our gig. And they get on stage and they go, this song is called Rape My Dead Bumhole. And you're like, I've just met, he's called Stephen.
Yeah, that's so true. My dad went to see Cannibal Corpse. A friend took him along, and he was on blood thinning medication. And he came back, and he was just fucking purple, like bruised. I think they had a song Fucked by a Nut.
But if you're having trouble, they would go, oh, God, if they'd known he was on the medication, all of them would go, we're avoiding this guy. We're being respectful. Like, they are the loveliest bunch.
Yeah, watch out for Daryl.
If someone falls down, pick them up.
Yeah, but it's the
Like,
same.
metal people, I feel safer at download than I would at, like,
100%.
wireless.
No,
Yeah.
Oh my god, I say this all the time. Like, you go to Wireless, you're getting robbed. You go to Slam Dunk, and I was basically crippled when we went. I couldn't walk, and everyone was just so nice. They're like, "Are you okay? Can we help you up? Can we put your sun cream on?"
If you want to, like, I would go to Bloodstock just to ask people for money. They'd be like, of course I'll help you out, man.
Yeah,
I'm just, like,
so
I'll
true.
give you 50 quid after I've listened to this song about raping your mum. You know, like they are lovely men.
Yeah,
They just
so
listen to
true.
horrible music.
Yeah, that's bizarre, isn't it?
It's crazy.
I love that. Everyone's so nice at like emo and heavy gigs.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have to sing every punchline you deliver on stage,
Yeah.
or only be allowed to hum your jokes?
Sing the punchlines.
Good choice.
I'm very good. I could make that work.
Yeah, I bet you could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
I'll
be
be
fair.
fine.
I had to ask for an example earlier, and you delivered it quite
I
well.
did, yeah. What, to sing the punchline?
No, you hummed the jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
Okay,
really
that
make
doesn't
much
work.
fucking sense. All right, what about that one, Willie?
Okay, would you rather be cursed to hear Baby Shark on loop every time you try and write a joke, or have your ringtone permanently set to Crazy Frog?
No brainer.
So, I would go Baby Shark because two reasons. One, I don't write that many jokes. I just talk about wanking loudly. And two, when my fiance calls me, that's weird. I've only just proposed, so like it's a new thing. That feels like a fucking wanker thing to call her. My partner, she when she rings me, it's Baby Shark.
What?
Really?
That song?
Yeah, when she rings me, Baby Shark is my ringtone, so it's sort of
No
smashed
way.
together the two sides.
That's
I love
sick.
that.
I didn't know you could do that. Modern technology.
Yeah,
eh?
you can do that. You
So I
can
can
change the
set a
photo.
ringtone for you.
You can make the photo.
Delete his number,
also
mate.
be-
Delete
yeah.
it.
When my time is.
Your lipstick is colour. Don't bother, Angel.
Yeah. Oh shit! The
Oh.
live version though.
I just want to break you down so badly.
Just
It
getting,
is like that.
just getting like
Jesus.
sung Take About Sunday songs by Matt, and it's better than Adam.
Mate,
Yeah.
make damn sure that
You're
is
the
a
wrong job.
fucking banger, though.
That is a banger.
mate. Honestly,
Yeah.
Fred,
Look,
don't
I
embarrass-
understand. There's a lot of this podcast you can't use. We're just chatting about We're just chatting about the same
We're
music
using
we
it all.
like.
Like,
Right.
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Matt, you've made it. You're officially inducted into the Encore Club. So thank you
Yes.
so much for giving us your dream concert. It's been a ride.
Been
I'm just
one
gonna
of my
say-
favourites.
I just wish we were all in a pub together talking about this, because this has been a delight.
Hasn't
Thank
it?
you.
It's been really good, and I guess we're all into similar music, which doesn't happen very much.
No.
I tell you who, like, I did a podcast for a couple of years with Matt Willis from Busted. We would talk about music like this, because obviously Busted, were a pop band, I guess.
Yeah.
But he was into all this kind of stuff, and we'd talk about music and then go, we actually need to do a podcast now. And that's how this feels.
Yeah.
That's
I don't get this enough, though, you know?
That's the kind of compliment we want to hear at the end of an episode.
You're basically Matt Willis. That's what I'm saying. Lovely man.
We're the
I've
guy from
definitely
Busted.
been called worse things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Do you know
same.
what I mean? I fucking love Matt Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold tight the elder emos, you know?
Love a bit of elder emo-age. Like, it's
Oh man, look, it's like today I was with a friend and he went, because I live near Bicester, right? And Bicester Village is there. My girlfriend works there, and we were talking about it. And he went, "Are there any shops you like there?" And I went, "Well, I'm wearing Vans. My trousers are from Vans. My socks, my shoes. Like, I'm like, yeah, I am an elder emo, aren't I?
Yeah. 100%.
You are. We are.
We are.
We are, yeah.
Well, I'm proud of it.
Me too, mate. I wear that badge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry. Great stuff. I've loved this. This has been great. Thank you for having me, lads.
Matt,
Thank you for
so
coming,
much,
man.
mate.
It's
been
been
hilarious.
hilarious.
Do you want to? Should we give you a chance to just quickly plug your tour again, quickly, just for?
Come and see me do stand-up comedy. The pre-show playlist is everything that I've mentioned tonight, basically. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's just rude, silly jokes. Yeah, come along.
We want to see you in Brighton.
100%.
Yeah, come. I'll sort it. Come. I'll sort it out.
Amazing.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Matt, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And for everyone watching as well, thank you guys for joining us. Obviously, do everything you normally do, like, subscribe. But more importantly, follow Matt. Go and check him out on tour. Do everything that you need to do to make sure that his tour is as successful as it fucking should be.
I fucking love Matt. Matt, I love you, man.
Lads, thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
No, I'm glad
Thank
you
you,
enjoyed
I
mate.
it.
wasn't expecting you to be into the same thing as me.
Quite literally down to Alex Melton.
Down to Ian Watson.
You know what I mean? Like, I do a fair amount of podcasts, and I've done them about music. Never have I gone, oh, yeah, Taking Back Sunday. And we've seen them 20 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good, lads.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, mate. Thank you so much for
I'm
coming on,
horny.
honestly. Yeah.
No, man, honestly, it was really good fun. Thank you.